Hey everyone, let's go over the foot and the ankle a little bit today and begin to learn how to capture more ankle and foot mobility so that we can get into a deeper squat. A couple of things we need to know initially is that we need tibial rotation. So that lower leg rotation, that has to be able to turn inward. Internal rotation of the lower leg, internal rotation of the tibia. Next, we need the heel, the back of the foot. We need that to evert a little bit. So this is the big toe side of the foot. That ankle bone, that calcaneus, that heel bone, needs to collapse inward just a little bit toward the midline. The other thing that we need is as that foot comes forward, as that tibia, that lower leg comes forward and internally rotates, we need the midfoot to collapse. We need that midfoot to drop into pronation. As all of those things happen together, you're going to get maximum forward position of that lower leg, of that tibia. That's going to create a maximum opportunity for ankle dorsiflexion, and that's going to allow you to descend into that squat, get those knees forward, get that descent into that squat just a little bit further. So here's how we begin to make that work. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is begin to work on that lower leg, that tibial internal rotation. Again, we need that lower leg to internally rotate so that we can get that lower leg as far forward as possible, driving a little bit of heel eversion. We've already talked about that. Midfoot needs to collapse a little bit into pronation, and that's going to allow us to get max dorsiflexion. So grab the lower leg, grab just behind the knee, and as that knee comes forward, you're going to lunge forward into this position. As that knee comes forward, you're going to twist pretty firmly that lower leg in toward the midline. Now, we don't want to pull that knee across the midline. We want that knee to go right down the middle of the foot as we twist that lower leg toward midline. So you'll just want to do this anywhere from 7 to 12 times, get a rhythm. One thing that works really well is if you get a TheraBand, wrap it around the top of the knee, makes it a little more grippy so it's easier to twist that lower leg in. Relax the foot. Focus on keeping the ankle, the foot, the midfoot, the arch relaxed as you lunge forward with that knee and twist inward. Let's move on to exercise 2. Okay, now that you've loosened up the lower leg and the ankle, let's go ahead and begin to reload to get a little more ankle mobility in the context of movement and loading through gravity. So this is a self-mobilization exercise, and it kind of resembles the karaoke or the grapevine with just a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to step on over here to the side, and what I want you to do is, if I'm going to work on the mobility of my right foot, I'm going to step that right foot behind just like you would for a karaoke or a grapevine, and then you're going to lunge down, you're going to squat down into that position and really focus on ankle mobility at the back foot, in this case my right foot. And so you're going to get a really good feel for ankle dorsiflexion and foot or heel eversion in this position. That ankle is being mobilized, that heel bone is being mobilized out to the side. We're going to take a small step and press that knee forward into a little bit more ankle dorsiflexion. So coming back the other way, step behind, both heels on the ground, squat, keep both heels on the ground, and get as much ankle dorsiflexion as you can. Get that heel and that knee as far forward as you can. Coming back the other way one more time. Drop that knee as far forward as you can. Keep that heel down. Don't step back far enough that the knees don't run into each other. So again, that will allow, under load, with using gravity assistance, getting that knee as far forward as you can, getting ankle dorsiflexion, and even causing that heel bone to turn just a little bit into that everted position. Okay, exercise 3. Okay, so for the third exercise, what we want to do is, if you're having trouble with ankle dorsiflexion, if you've got stiff ankles, probably want to go ahead and get a couple of wedges. What you can do is you can just grab a book, maybe raise your heels 1 to 2 inches on, it's a 2x4 or maybe the spine of a book. I actually have some squat wedges here, so I'm going to use those. And just put those about hip width, maybe a little bit wider. I've got a kettlebell here. So we've mobilized without loading the ankles in that half kneeling position. Then we've mobilized using gravity and using a specific mobilization technique, that drop lunge position. Now we're actually going to load the entire system, and we're going to put the ankles, we're going to raise the heels and put the ankles in what's called an early propulsive phase. This allows more yielding and more lengthening of the tissues as we get all the way down into the squat. Remember, as you're doing this, we want those knees to come as far forward as they can, and we want to try and stay upright. And so now we're loading the tissues and reinforcing the new position and the new range of motion that we've created with those first two exercises. So grab your kettlebell, grab the bottom of the handle, drop all the way down, staying upright. Exhale on the way down. You can breathe in here, get those knees forward. Feel that new position of those ankles, breathe in. Exhale on the way up. One more time. Drop all the way down. The offset weight with the kettlebell or a dumbbell is going to help you stay upright. Take a moment to stay down here and find that new position of those ankles. Get those knees as far forward as you can. Relax the feet, relax the ankles. Breathe in. Exhale on the way up. And you can do anywhere from 8 to 10 of those. We're just reinforcing the new position. I hope that was helpful. We will see you here again next week. Please send your questions. We'd love to hear from you and answer any questions you may have.